welcome to everyone to this analyticszone.com Ask the Expert series. We're excited to be releasing IBM Cognos Insight version 10.2, and we've got IBM Product Marketing Manager for IBM Cognos Insight, David Clement here. David, we're excited to have you here. You want to say hi to everyone?
Thanks, Tim. Very happy to be here, too. Very excited about our new release that just came out this week, and looking forward to demonstrating some of the new features.
Looking forward to seeing those new features. Just real quickly, our agenda for today, from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, will be the webcast. I want to share a few things with you all in advance of us demonstrating the new features in IBM Cognos Insight version 10.2. And that is, I want to take you around the analytics zone, show you some of the content that we have on the site, and give you some navigation tips to find the content for which you're looking. Once I've done that, then I want to pass it over to David Clement, who's going to get to the main focus for this webcast. At 1 p.m. Eastern, then we're going to jump over to Twitter, and we're going to have a tweet chat and get some more in-depth question and answer sessions about this version of Cognos Insight, what's contained in this personal edition, which is available for free starting today, which we're excited to do, what's in the personal edition, what's in the standard edition, and answer any other questions that you all may have. So excited about that next following this webinar. So I'll talk about the tweet chat and what's contained in that, what you need to do after David's presentation, so we'll leave that for later. I also want to just remind you real quickly about our big users conference, our Information on Demand 2012 conference at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada, October 21st through 25th. Our business analytics forum is contained within the Information on Demand conference. It's really a great opportunity to hear customers talk about their successes using all of our business analytics solutions and some of the challenges they face both politically and culturally in their organizations to help drive home those new solutions and new related processes that come with those new solutions. All of our product development, product management people will be there as well, so great chance to network with them. And then most importantly, such a great opportunity to network with your peers. We've set up a number of different networking events, from birds of a feather meetings to user group meetings and other opportunities to get together with people within your industry, with people within your own product category that you're using, so you can exchange business cards and learn how they're using our solutions as well. So a great, great conference. I encourage you all to register for and attend. So I did say I was going to show you real quickly some navigation tips on our Analytics Zone site. I'll just show you that really quickly here. You're seeing the home page for the Analytics Zone right here. And if you just toggle down the home page, and apologies if it doesn't smoothly roll down the page, what you're going to want to be aware of is beyond that download section at the very top, which I just toggled through, you'll select the category section here, and this is where our business accelerators exist, which David will talk about in a little bit, as well as some of our more fun and facts and figures applications like our NFL app, like our golf equipment app, which I know David's going to show you as well as a few other apps. A lot of fun to play around with to get comfortable with Cognos Insight while learning a little bit of information about some of these different topics that we cover in these different applications. There's also different communities which we can take you into from this home page. Our Getting Started with Cognos Insight is a great community, of course, for those that are just learning Cognos Insight. We've got a number of resources that exist there that you can access, great video files, how-tos, if you will, to help you understand about importing data, connecting to IBM Cognos servers like TM1 and BI servers, as well as accessing data through ODBC connections. They're just a couple-minute videos. They're not these extended 10-minute, very dry videos. Real quick videos to help you get started and going. And then we've got another community for advanced techniques for those users that are much more advanced in using Cognos Insight. We created your own community for that type of discussion and the content that would go with those more experienced users of Cognos Insight. We've got a separate community for all of the business accelerators that exist. And again, David's going to talk a little bit more about those business accelerators and show you a few of them as well. And then our application exchange. And this is where we have community members contributing their own applications that they've created on their own. This is also where we make available some of those fun apps like our NFL, National Football League Fantasy Football app, as well as some others coming down the pike like a National Hockey League app we'll make available in the application exchange. And we do some fun app challenges like we're doing right now with the English Premier League, like we've done in the past around the British Open that have been a lot of fun for our users to participate in. So the app exchange is a fun community to go in. Why don't we, for now, since most of us are just getting started with Cognos Insight, why don't we just jump into the Getting Started with Cognos Insight community? And I just want to show you all something really quickly here. It's pretty obvious, most of the information that's out here. You'll see some blog entries here and some forums set up, people asking different questions. And we're closely monitoring these communities, by the way. Our developers are, our support reps, and of course I am, as the manager of the analytics zone, am in there making sure your questions get answered in a timely fashion. So, post whatever questions you have out there, and we'll get back to you in a very timely fashion. So what I wanted to show you here is, on first glance, you might see in this file section that there's only, I think, five files here that are available to you. Well, that's actually not the case at all. Something you can do real quickly navigationally is just click on the View All, and you'll see all of these different videos that we have available to you. And what's great about these, as I mentioned before, is that they're only a couple minutes and they really get right to the heart of what you're looking to do, and you can see all the different videos we've made available. Really helpful there. So hopefully that was pretty self-explanatory for you all. Just wanted to give you those tips because there's a lot of great content out there that I want you all to leverage. So with that in mind, I want to get started now with the focus for this webcast, and is showing you IBM Cognos Insight, the new release version 10.2. And David Clement is going to take over from here. I'm going to make you presenter here, and you should have control. Let me know when you get that.
Thanks, Dan. So I'll just I'll get this going. Great. Tim, can you see my screen?
I hear your screen.
Perfect. All right. Well, great introduction, Tim, looking at Analytics Zone, and we really encourage people to go there, and we'll be discussing that a bit more as we roll through this. As Tim mentioned, my name is David Clement. I'm the Business Analytics Cognos Insight Product Marketing Manager, and today we want to take you through some of the new areas, new features, new capabilities within Cognos Insight 10.2. To begin with, we'll be looking at some of the fiscal year and smart metadata examples. We're also going to talk around tree maps, drilling up and down and filtering. And then to close out, we'll talk about some of the items that are available at the server level, at the Cognos server level with Cognos Insight. First, I want to just walk through about Cognos Insight in general. For those of you that are quite new to the product or have just joined the conversation recently, Cognos Insight is really about bringing that agile business analytics experience to the desktop, to the business user, the business analyst, and providing individuals with a really quick way of analyzing and discovering items specific to their data. So we offer a visualization and exploration tool at the desktop level, but we also provide the capabilities to take the files that you build in Cognos Insight and bring them to action. being able to report on these, to analyze and model is one thing, but then being able to take these to the next step to possibly be a managed application, a managed dashboard, or a managed forecast plan is really where the true strength is when we start to discuss the bigger picture around the Cognos Insight products and the Cognos products in general. And then, of course, we're wired for the enterprise, so we're able to again, take these insight files and have them put into a managed capacity to be able to be used throughout the organization, throughout the industry, possibly across the world in some cases, and really make use of these files that were created by an individual on their desktop earlier on in a cycle, for example, and then take those and expand them through the organization in managed fashion. So the IBM Cognos family is what we draw from in this example. And the Cognos family is a new realm for us. This is a very exciting way to bring all of our products together within the Cognos family by saying that we can start with Cognos Insight. We can then produce things on our desktop, produce insight files for the individual, analyze those files within a small group or a team. But then we can also expose those files to a larger work group. So Cognos Express is our work group or departmental solution for business analytics and planning. And from there, we can expand that to the enterprise with Cognos Enterprise, which is our Cognos Business Intelligence, and Cognos TM1 for performance management solution. You'll see here that we can really sell with these products, and you're not only just starting small and then growing as you go. You have a chance to really start somewhere in the middle. If you wish to start with Cognos Express, you're still able to use Cognos Insight within Cognos Express, and the same goes for Cognos Enterprise. Cognos Insight is part of Cognos Enterprise. So you're able to use these solutions throughout the organization. Earlier in the year, we were very fortunate and very happy to be selected as the leader in the Forrester Wave Self-Service BI Platform report. And this put IBM, specifically IBM Cognos, as a leader in this quadrant, as you see at the top right-hand side. And Cognos Insight was a key opportunity to provide us with this exceptional award. So we're very, very happy, and you'll see this used throughout many opportunities within IBM. To showcase the fact that the Cognos family now is a real driving force in business analytics. So let's get started with some of the demonstration around the new feature within Cognos 10.2, Cognos Insight 10.2. So we're going to be using what's called Personal Edition, or Cognos Insight Personal Edition. And Cognos Insight Personal Edition was released today. This is a brand new offer for Cognos Insight users. This is available for free from analyticszone.com, and it offers individuals a chance to look at their local data, their business data, for non-commercial use offering. But again, it's free from analyticszone.com. If you just go there and click the Download Now button, you're able to see this and download it immediately. We'll be using Cognos Insight Personal Edition to do our demonstration today, but we also have Standard Edition. And Standard Edition allows individuals to have additional data sources to draw from. It's also a $500 US offer, and it comes with a 1-year subscription, customer service subscription, a renewable subscription license, so that you can gain from our customer support if you have any issues or concerns or questions that you want to address with them. And then, of course, we have the licensed edition for Cognos Express and the enterprise roles, essentially offering Cognos Insight within the enterprise itself, obviously licensed with various roles. So this is just some of the information that comes with each edition. For Personal Edition, we do allow CSV or spreadsheet data to be imported, and then the change between Personal Edition and Standard Edition is essentially further data sources with Standard Edition. So what's new in
Cognos? Just to interject a second really quickly, if anyone would like a copy of the Standard Edition, you can also purchase the Standard Edition by going to the downloads page off of analyticszone.com's homepage. That will also take you there. Is that correct, David, just to make sure?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And the default is the U.S. website. So at the very top, you're able to select on your country of choice, and the website will change. The prices will change to reflect your locale.
Great.
So let's begin looking at Cognos Insight 10.2 and what we have to offer. To begin with, new visualizations. We've brought in tree maps, and I'll be showing those to you. Enhanced usability, so much more interactivity with the charts, many more built-in calculations. Tighter integration with the Cognos server, so what we call high-fidelity publishing. I'll be showing you that, which essentially means being able to take your Insight dashboard or plan and publish it out to a Cognos server and show those workspaces in full capacity. And then the smart metadata import, so we're able to look at the import of data and how it reflects in terms of creating a hierarchy and how smart it is and intuitive it is to pick up those data sources and read them. And then, of course, the personal edition, which I just mentioned. So again, going to Analytics Zone and being able to download free personal edition of Cognos Insight to take a look at and evaluate and use for as long as you want. So tree maps are a terrific way to multi-dimensional data. With Cognos Insight, we can take rows and columns, and we can maneuver those rows and columns to be able to nest various scenarios, reposition various scenarios with our data. And each time we do that, the tree map is a very handy way of looking at multi-dimensional sets of data in reflection of that. So we'll be taking a look at that in terms of the demo later on. The chart drill up and drill down on and being able to drag in dimensions as well, or measures from our workspace. So this is a great way to be able to take a look at different data sets. We can come in, we can simply just click on the actual chart itself, drill down or drill up on that to see further information. We can also drag in various dimensions from our data set and overlay them on this chart, and the chart will change automatically and reflect that. So I'll be showing you that as well. The fiscal year and populate entire years. This is a critical need for our finance folks, for our performance management folks, to be able to basically choose the fiscal year and compare the previous release, previous years on that. So we're able to populate the entire years, and we're able to actually bring in fields that might not be in the data set itself, and I'll show you how that's done. So we're able to actually show various days that might be missing in the data set and now populate those within Cognos Insight. So again, very, very intuitive. Smart metadata, this is, again, bringing in data. We've drastically improved our import features, and this is only getting better and better, making it very, very easy for individuals to bring in data without having to model it in any way, shape, or form. So being able to import data sets, it automatically detects the hierarchies in your data, and it will create those hierarchies for you. Then, of course, top and bottom filtering. So again, we can customize this, but a nice, creative, and very, very quick way of showing variations in your data sets. So selecting your top or bottom three brands, for example, or your top three sales folks in a particular region. And again, being able to customize that to show specifics in your data, whether it's a percentage or a summation of that. And then time roll-ups, a very, very cool little feature as well, being able to select, based on the system date, being able to select individual dates or quarters or years, and to take a look at your data and your time in that respect. Another very, very important feature that we've added is the ability to do further guided refreshes or silent refresh. So we'll show you this as well. What this means is when I bring in a file and import a file into my workspace or into my Cognos Insight workspace, and I want to update that file on a regular basis. If any of the data has changed, I might just do a simple silent refresh. The structure of that data, the rows, for example, the titles in those rows haven't changed at all, but maybe some of the data have on an ongoing basis. Well, I can do a silent refresh just to update that regularly. But if some of the columns or specific data points are new, but not everything is new and not everything needs to be updated in my workspace, then I might want to just do a guided refresh. And this lets me go in and have a lot more flexibility to change things up on my own. We'll show you that as well. So let's get started with a demo here. The first thing I want to do is open up Cognos Insight from my desktop. So I'll click on the Cognos Insight desktop icon. And you'll note that we're using the personal edition, again, the free edition. I'll be using that for this demonstration. It pops up a nice, easy to see window and gives me an idea of that standard edition is available if I want to buy it, and then what standard edition brings you over and above the personal edition. In my case, I'll just click continue. I'll expand this a little bit so you can see better from your angle. So we've changed up the startup screen just a little bit. We still have our capabilities to see existing CDD files that I've created. I'll be showing you some of those momentarily. We have our workspace themes up above, so I can click on some of these and add some color or context, something interesting to the background of my dashboard. Over here on the far right-hand side, we have the Cognos Insight community, so I can link directly to the community from here and post questions or take a look at some how-to videos or even take a look at the tutorial that's available. And just below that, the how-to videos direct link. So I click on here, it goes directly to the how-to videos themselves if you want to take a look at those. And we're expanding on those as we go, so there's a lot there already. The first thing I want to do is create a new workspace. So I'll go up here and I'll create workspace, and you'll see I get a blank canvas, a nice easy area to start creating things. And here I can just drag and drop my spreadsheet on here, but in my case, I'm going to actually go up and hit Get Data. And I'll do an import data. And you'll see again, by using Personal Edition, that some of these are grayed out. So in this case, with Personal Edition, I'm allowed to bring in spreadsheets, CSV files, text files, but relational data sources, relational ODBC sources, or Cognos reports or framework manager packages are grayed out in this case. And those are available in other releases with the standard edition or with the server edition. So I'm going to go over and hit Browse, and I'm going to select a file called National. So the first thing I want to show you is how to populate the fiscal year and populate the entire year. And you'll see to begin with, I get a nice small data preview of my data just to make sure that what I'm bringing in is the correct information. Once that's determined, you'll notice that I have January 5th, it jumps down to January 8th, and then to the 12th, and so on. I'm missing a few days in there, January 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And what I want to do is just make sure that in my import, when I actually do go to create my dashboard, that those dates are available so that I can write to those dates, possibly do some scenario modeling, or I have the flexibility to actually use those times. So I'm just going to go down and hit Advanced. And you'll see at the top I have Show Property. And you'll notice here that with that data set, it's actually provided me the date field. So I'll click on that, and I'll go over to my properties, and I'll hit Populate Whole Years. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to provide the additional days that I'm missing from my sequence underneath that date. The next thing I want to do is just make sure that my fiscal year is set to my particular time period. I'll select March in this case. Okay, so we'll just hit Summary. Going to get a little preview of what's going to happen. It's going to create a new dimension. It's going to create a new cube for me, and everything will get going from there. I'll hit Import. So again, it runs through the process in this case, and the data will appear on the screen in a cross tab as well as a chart below that. Okay, and we have the flexibility to actually show just the chart or show just the cross tab, but in this case I'm going to show both. I'll just sum that up. So we have a bit of data in here. We're missing some data sets because I allowed for all the days to be shown. But one of the things we started out with was that fiscal year. So you'll see that we actually start out Q1 with March. Okay, so that's our fiscal year that I showed you earlier. And you recall that we didn't have all the data in there. You recall that we were missing January 1st, for example. So if I go in here, you'll see that we have January 5th. We have data for that. We have January 8th. We have data for that. But you recall earlier that we weren't showing the first, second, or third. Those fields are now available, although they're not populated with data. We now have them available to us in our cross tab to be able to write to these and actually populate those at will. Okay. So I'll go down to my bottom right left-hand corner here, and I'm just going to type in national data, so we know that this particular tab is for national data. I'll create a new tab over here. And I'll show you just on the far top right-hand side here, we have what we call our content pane. And our content pane shows the national cube that I brought in. So I brought that spreadsheet in, I imported it, and created a nice cube here called national. And it shows the columns, date, line, item name, outlet, etc. It also shows my measures or the values, so my revenue, cost, quantity, and so on. So all of those were part of the spreadsheet, and they all get imported. I'm able to use those later on, so you'll see more of that shortly. Next thing I want to do is hit Get Data, Import Data, and again, I'll bring in a different spreadsheet. This time I'm going to bring it that I created in Cognos BI, and this is a report, and I extracted that report to a CSV file. Cognos Insight report example. Now, of course, this is a spreadsheet format, so I'm going to bring in that into the import wizard through the personal edition. And the first thing you'll notice in this one is I have year, quarter, and month. So what I want to show you this time is the smart metadata feature. The first thing is that smart metadata can determine one-to-many relationships. So, of course, there are many months in a quarter, there are many quarters in a year, and so on. So we're able to determine that. And these columns could be anywhere in this particular preview, but in this case, I've set them up side by side. So we'll hit Advanced. And you'll notice right here that we have a hierarchy, and it's already set up for us. Now, we can clear our mappings. If we wanted this to appear in more of a flat file type of scenario, we could easily clear these out. But in my case, I'm demonstrating the smart metadata, so I really want to show you that this is very intuitive, and it's figuring it out on its own in the background using the heuristics or the algorithms that are produced. So in this particular case, you'll see that year, quarter, month are set up for me, as well as my product line, my product type, and my product. And the determination for that particular name will come from the bottom level. So in my case, the bottom level is called product. Therefore, my member name will be called product as well. So I'll hit import. And again, it runs through the process of this. It's a new cube. And essentially, I'm just creating a nice model for myself to start analyzing from. Okay. So I'll just show you quickly that this came in very, very well. You'll see that we have our product line, product item, and product types, okay? And then right here for the month, again, the same scenario. We have our total of month, we have our year, quarter, and months that are listed here. That's just a quick example of our smart metadata. The next thing I want to do is show you tree maps. So I'm going to go up, and as you see, we have a cross tab at the top. We have our graphics at the bottom that's showing all of our information. But next thing I'm going to do is just click our options for our charts. I'll hit tree map. And we can change the color and the palettes, obviously this. I'll just hit classic. Okay, we have other options within here as well for our legends and colors and so on and so forth. What I do is just rearrange some of the data in here so you can see the intuitive of this. So I'll check products. I'll just go here. See our change up a little bit. see here, I'll change quantity. I'll just select total of months. I'll select total of product. You see that we're kind of building out a bit of a story for ourselves here and very, very quickly being able to look at our data and change it up so that we get what we want. You'll see when we run our mouse over here that we're looking at our month of a particular month. We're looking at the year of 2012. We're looking at camping equipment and personal accessories and the values of those. And we can, again, see by the contrast in the rectangles and see by the contrast in the colors how we're sorting out our data. But what if we want to look at this data in a bit of a different context? So I can actually go up here and nest my order method. So this might be, the order method might be by phone or email. And I can bring this over and just nest it with my product. And you'll see that it changes again for us, okay? I hover over and I see now camping equipment by phone is over 1 million, and camping equipment for 2011 is just over 800,000 by telephone calls, okay? So camping equipment doing quite well through the telephone sales organization, and progressing from 2010 to 2011, so decreasing from 2010 to 2011. Okay, so again, very, very quick ways of looking at your data and changing this up using the tree map. So for multi-dimensional data sets, columns and rows that we're looking at here, again, very, very quick ways of looking at your data. The next thing I want to do is look at drill up and drill down abilities. So I'm going to go out and select column chart. So I'll click this. Hit the 3D column chart here. I'll change my my data up a little bit. I'll select my years. So we'll just go with that. And year type looks fine. Maybe I'll just move this over here. Okay, so just a bit easier look and feel of the data. Now, you'll see on the right-hand side I have my legend, the total of months. So I'm going to click on 2010. You'll see that it starts to toggle through the actual crosstab at the top, 2011, 2012, 2013. I can also right-click on this and I can drill up. So we'll drill up on month. I can right-click and drill down month. Okay. And so on and so forth. So it gives me a very fast way of looking at data. I can also double-click. You see how you can interact with the data quite easily. I'll just bring that back here, something like that. Okay. Well, the next thing I want to do is show you how I can bring actual labels over here from our content pane. And I'll grab product dimension. I'll just bring that over and I'll drag that release on here. And you start to see it. Now we're looking at our data from a product point of view. Possibly I want to look at the order method as well, so I can drag that on and look at the order method, okay, and start to see how I'm reading my data differently. And again, very, very intuitive, simple mouse clicks, but not very hard to use at all. It's all there. No scripting needed in the background, nothing that we have to really worry about from a more of a power user or authoring point of view. All of this is at our fingertips with very, very quick gestures. The next thing I want to do is just show you some of the calculations. So I'll just reverse this. Let's see here. We'll go over and do a change up here with data. Okay. And that looks fine from there. So I can come in here and I can right-click my product, for example, and I can go to the top or bottom calculation. And these are all built-in calculations. You see we have a series of built-in calculations that are available. In this case, I'm going to hit top or bottom. And I'll just hit the top 3. So it's going to instantly show me my top 3. Now it's showing the whole year for 2010. So what if I didn't want to see that? Well, I can sort this, or I can just basically show my totals, and then go back to this context. I'll right-click again. I'll hit top 3, and you'll see that Q4, 3, and 2 are my top. I can also show bottom 3 if I wish. I can turn that off, or I can simply customize this as well. So again, being able to really use the flexibility behind the tool for the number of items. For example, I want to see 50 items, or in my case, I want to see the top 20% in case, right? So I'll hit 20, and we'll hit OK, and Q4 is the top 20% in this ratio. Okay, so looking at this, again, no scripting needed for any of these. These are all already built-in functionality aspects that you can use at your fingertips. The next thing I want to show you is the time roll-up. So we'll just expand this. And so looking at the time roll-up specifically, so we'll use the same cube layout. We'll move time over to that. I think we can just kind of go back a little bit. And I'll right-click this, and I'll go down to time roll-ups. And here you can see we have a selection. It's all based on the system date. So we have a selection of items here. Click on year-to-date or year-to-date last year and hit OK. I also have the ability to customize this, so possibly within a range, for example, and really customize my name of the label that I want to use. Or we can just use today's date. Okay, so I can select that, and then if I minimize my widget here, I'm able to bring on a label over here, and if I search on that, I'm able to see year to date, and it just comes in on specifics around that. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing, just to get going on the import guides that I mentioned earlier, being able to bring in different data sets and change those up based on transitions to your data. So I'll just switch this up a little bit here. I'll change my months again. You see the differences there. I'm going to just show the total 2010. Okay. So I go over here to my content pane. I select all imports, and you'll see that I have two files that have been brought in. Now, the first one, import national, that was the first one I did on the first tab, and then import Cognos Insight report was the second one. Both of these are distinct spreadsheets, and maybe I only want one of them to change. I don't want to do a full refresh on the entire cube, but maybe there's just certain data sets that were brought in, and I just want to focus on those and update those on a regular basis to my dashboard that you're looking at. So it's quite easy to do. I'll go over and I'll change up the first one. We'll hit the Cognos Insight report. We'll open that up, and for example, the quantity, I'll just set that to 30,000 so that it's obvious, and we'll hit save. Close that up. Yes, do that. And then we'll just go over and we'll click on that import, and see that we're able to import our data. Click on that again, and you'll see that we're able to select guided refresh or silent refresh. Okay, in my case, I'm going to hit silent refresh. It's going to go through the process, and basically my data changed, but my structure didn't change. So this is a perfect opportunity to use the silent refresh. You'll see that the data does change up on that and reflection of that. Okay, guided refresh essentially would be best suited when our dimensions change or our columns change, possibly a label has changed or specifics in our data set has changed. We don't necessarily want to update everything at once. The next thing I want to do is just discuss some of the new features that are associated with the server. So I'm going to go back out to my presentation here. So to begin with, let's quickly talk around the TM1 aspect. So Cognos Insight is now available as a disconnected client. So we're able to actually use Cognos Insight, when we disconnect from our planning solution with TM1, we can download a plan onto our local machines. If there's a power outage or if we decide to go off-site, we're able to add to our plan and contribute to our plan, up our plan on the road, for example, and then when we come back into the office, we find a connection, or when we go home to find a connection to our server, we can update that and commit those changes back to the master plan. So being able to have that disconnected option is very, very beneficial to our performance management folks. And so this is a great new feature for Cognos Insight as a managed planning client. Package import, so being able to bring pre-authored, already set up metadata packages built in Framework Manager and being able to import those into Cognos Insight. So no longer, whereas before when we created a file in Cognos Insight, we could create a Framework Manager package from that. Now we're actually able to import those packages into Cognos Insight. So being able to use that pre-authored content, being able to use content that IT has governed, and able to create something from that in terms of a dashboard or plan. So again, very, very easy to bring in, easy to use, and very flexible now to be able to go out and get that. And then the high fidelity publishing. This is something that I'll show you momentarily. But being able to take the assets that you've created, possibly as an individual analyst on your local machine, creating something very, very intuitive and important, and creating that in Cognos Insight and possibly in a dashboard fashion, and then having the capability to show that on the web. So that requires the Cognos server, the Cognos BI server, and in this case, you're able to publish the entirety of that dashboard to the Cognos server through your administrator, your business administrator, or IT capabilities to add governance, to add security, and then show those assets on the web. So again, that is it's a big drive for us to be able to not have a dead-end solution, to not create silos of information out there as we see, and to be able to take those assets that you've created in Cognos Insight and then publish those to an enterprise or a Cognos Express server and show them as you would see them in Cognos Insight. And then the greater audience can take a look at those. You can then manage them better. They can become part of your organization. People can drill in them, can look at data, and then contribute to those as well. I want to show you a little bit of that. So I have a video that demonstrates that. And the reason is because we're actually using Personal Edition, and because we're using Personal Edition, it's not geared to be set up to a server. So that's I want to show you how we do this. Essentially, what you saw there was a finished CDD file or Cognos Desktop diff file. This is a dashboard that we created, and then we're saving it. And it'll go up. You can simply just save that file and hit publish. And we can do a publish and distribute. So in this case, we're going to actually log into our Cognos server. We put in our URL to that server. We're an IT administrator at this point. We've logged into that server, and we're now going to publish that particular widget. So we can minimize that. You see that this is very, very quick to do. It's very, very fast to get these assets up to the enterprise if necessary. We go into Cognos Connection and open that up in Business Workspace, and that's our final result. So again, done very, very quickly, very, very easy to get that up to the server itself, and then others can start to use this particular dashboard and to drill around on it and get answers. So I want to just reiterate things, as we'll mention shortly. Cognos Insight Analytics Zone community is a very, very big initiative for us. We encourage you to go there. There are a lot of assets there, 25 sample applications, for example. I want to show you a couple of those right now. But again, we have multiple assets up there, including tutorials and how-to videos. What I want to get into, though, is some of the specifics around what you'll see there. So I actually created a couple of Cognos Insight examples here. This is actually a really, really good sample that was created by our samples team. So this is on Analytics Zone. This will take you through a number of steps that you can walk quite easily. It's actually translated into over 11 languages. It comes with a multitude of tabs, so you can look at the product in different ways. And it walks you through a series of activities. So you can start on any of these tabs and just walk through the options here. So, for example, activity 2 that you see on here, it says name the new measure, percent of all months, and then the next step is to actually interact with that, and the next step, and so on and so forth. So again, a great way to get involved with the product without having to do a lot of work, to start to see what options are there and to spark your creativeness in terms of how you might use this product for your business or your line of business needs. And this is just one way of doing that through these particular samples. And then it just walks you through a number of options here to take a look at. So a great sample, again, available in 11 languages on analyticszone.com. The next thing I want to show you is one of our fun sample data sets. This is our fantasy football application, and this was created for the new season, for the new football season, essentially bringing in new data on a weekly basis. So we'll be updating this every single week, and our demo team created this to be able to update. And again, it just walks you through a selection of great tabs, great data, being able to really focus in on specifics around the data set, to be able to look at how your players might be doing, to be able to see what they might be doing, and again, what might happen if your player was to reach 500 tackles, for example, in this particular case for that defense position, and so on and so forth. Okay, and you can start to kind of maneuver the data around to see what would happen for your particular fantasy football needs. So you can walk through this one. It's a great application, and again, it'll be updated every single week to reflect the new season. And finally, I want to show you our human resource application. Now, this was taken from our performance management book, and this is an authored book that is available on Amazon.com, and again as a PDF on IBM.com. It's called the Performance Manager Book. What it entails is it has a series of chapters, and we've taken each chapter and we've actually built out each chapter into a particular CDD file, into a particular Cognos Insight file. We're very, very excited about these because they show the line of business exactly how they can use and how they can interact with Cognos Insight. In this particular case, we're looking at a human resource file, human resource interaction with Cognos Insight. This is just a screen cap. You're able to bring this into the workspace and really build on this. And what we can do here is just walk through some of the tabs. Up here we have the Workforce Performance tab, and it just starts to show us what we can do if we were to be in a human resource field and we want to use Cognos Insight as our data discovery tool. So I start to click around, and I can really start to see how this might be become effective for me. Okay, so training durations and so on and so forth. If my job is a buyer, my job is in construction or warehousing, how I can manage this and how I can start to use this. And so you can just walk through these. We have a number of these from operations. We have one for IT, one for marketing, one for sales, and so on and so forth. We have up to 9 of these available. They're available in terms of a nice video, so a video with voiceover that you can take a look at, just listen to and look at. We step through the tabs and step through what it's for, or you can actually download the CDD file and open it up with Cognos Insight Personal Edition or any other edition that you might have locally. And finally, we have the actual chapter embedded at the end of this, so you can go in and look at the actual chapter and learn more about how the opportunities might be exposed with Cognos Insight. It's interesting enough that you can actually embed these PDFs or web links into the Cognos Insight file itself. So that's what we've done here, just to show you and to illustrate that. But again, being able to put something like this into your file so that your file isn't just a dashboard, isn't just a plan, but also has context wrapped to it. Comments, papers, anything that might be relevant to this particular file can be embedded in here as well. So it adds a lot more dynamic to the Cognos Insight product. And so finally, I want to leave off before Tim takes over again to, again, encourage you to go get the new free IBM Cognos Insight Personal Edition from Analytics Zone. The steps are quite easy. Just click the Download Now item. Very, very quickly, it'll take you out to the download page, and you're able to just click the free download. There's a document on there as well that'll show you how to do this and the steps that it takes. It's very, very quick. And then get started. Click on the self-extracting exe file that you download and open up Cognos Insight from your desktop icon and get going. Go to Analytics Zone for the tutorial. Go to Analytics Zone for how-to videos. If you prefer to watch the videos, they're short, 1-minute, 2-minute videos going. And again, lots of information there. So the key takeaways for version 10.2, again, great new visualizations with the tree map, enhanced usability, lots of interaction with the charts, built-in calculations, again, no scripting necessary, tighter integration with the Cognos servers, able to have that high-fidelity publishing capability, smart metadata, of course, those import features to be able to pick up the hierarchies and the capabilities within your imports so that you don't have to do any work, and those time dimensions, being able to have the time roll-up series, and finally, as we've mentioned over and over, the personal edition, which is now offered. So Tim, I'm going to hand it back over to you, and you can discuss the tweet chat that we're going to bring up now.
Great. Can you just give me control back?
I am.
Excellent. And meanwhile, everyone, I just want to encourage you to register for the Analytics Zone. There's a lot of great advantages to being a member of the Analytics Zone. Right now, we've got over 4,000 registrants, 4,000 members that are participating in this community. It allows you to upload content. It allows you to contribute to discussions. It allows you to create discussions, create questions, and ask the community of things which you need to be a registrant to do so. You also get a copy of our monthly newsletter. Now, I promise you all this is a monthly newsletter. We are not going to be bombarding you with communications. We stay on that cadence. We're going to give you updates about important things going on, not only within the Analytics Zone, but also Cognos Insight in the community as well as the product as well, and across business analytics and IBM. So what's important to know we'll include in this newsletter. We'll also provide updates on our app challenges, the National Hockey League app that's coming soon, which we're excited to deliver to the community. It's very similar to what you saw in our National Football League fantasy football app, but for the National Hockey League. It should be a lot of fun. We'll update you on our other app challenges, like with the English Premier League. So that's a lot of fun. We'll also provide updates on more and more business accelerators that we create, and something else that I think we failed to mention is our performance blueprints. And these are pre-built data process and policy models that are based on best practices in many different functional areas of the business. So you think of workforce planning. You think of a number of different processes that are common across every organization. We've got these available for free. And hopefully it went without saying, but those business accelerators are available at no cost for your use and can be customized to meet the needs of your business and related processes. I want to just take a back here and show you guys quickly what we're going to be doing in this tweet chat. And it's going to be something we're going to try and do on a bi-weekly basis, and depending on the circumstances, we might even do it more frequently. And essentially, it's quite simple. You don't even need a Twitter account in order to at least follow the discussion going on. But to participate, you certainly do need a Twitter account, but don't feel like you need to create one for this if that's something you'd rather not do. You can just go to this URL right here, tweetchat.com/room/Cognos Insight. And this is just making it easier to do a tweet chat than through twitter.com. It's going to consolidate all of the discussions that we have going on into this particular room, they call it, within tweet chat. And you don't even type in the hashtag. We're going to be using #Cognos Insight each time you send a tweet so that everything is filtered appropriately and brought into our tweet chat. So this makes it real simple. And David Clement and I will be taking on the handles of @CognosInsight and @AnalyticsZone. I will be managing the tweet chat under the @AnalyticsZone handle there, and David and I will both be responding to the questions depending on what they are. We encourage you all to participate in this tweet chat. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to do it for about an hour, and we'll also follow it up with a bunch of tweets in that tweet chat to send you to important information about Cognos Insight in the personal edition, the standard edition, other white papers that have been written by, for example, Forrester Research that we want to make available to you. So a lot of good stuff coming out of this tweet chat. Thank you, everyone, for attending today. Certainly want to thank our presenter, IBM Product Marketing Manager for IBM Cognos Insight, David Clement. David, thank you for your time. And thank you, everyone, for attending. Hopefully this was a valid use of your time. And enjoy the rest of your day.